Did you miss part 1? No sweat. There'll be a link at the end of this video. Are you ready to visit some favorites, discover some hidden gems, or maybe even dust off your Series X and rediscover some forgotten hidden titles hidden away in your game closet? Buckle up, because here we go. Alrighty then, let's dive into our first blast from the past, Dead or Alive 3. Now this fighter was one of the original Xbox's exclusive launch titles, but by looking at this 23-year-old game's stunning visuals, you may think it was actually an Xbox 360 game instead. It sure showed off the Xbox's graphical muscles, let me tell you that. We've got 3D characters with some pretty impressive detail for the time, and throws that can be countered with specific button presses, which adds a layer of strategy instead of mindless button mashing like some guy's old girlfriend used to do. You know who you are. The critics went wild for DOA 3's graphics, and many loved the fighting style and its feel of speed. Now that's how they felt then, and as someone who never played this game until fairly recently, I feel the same way about this game now. While it may not be as visually stunning as Mortal Kombat 1 or Tekken 8, it's being played on modern hardware. Dead or Alive 3 is playable on the very same modern hardware and is more impressive to me now as it looks and feels as if it was way ahead of its time. Maybe the Series X has become a time machine of sorts, and this adult feels like a child again, playing such an advanced game.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
While I am not the most strategic of fighting game players, sometimes I do get the best of my opponents in some fighting games, and because of the use of free movement in this arena and the no-nonsense level of control, I am easily able to counter moves and spit my opponents out like someone who just brushed their teeth then drank orange juice. DOA 3 should be on your game's hunting list, and yes, there's 100% FOMO on this game because she's simply irresistible. And she's only about $8 complete. Okay everyone, if you watch the channel, you know I love racing games. I'm not very good at them, but I love racing games, and some I love for strange reasons, and that applies to MX Unleashed. When it comes to the actual racing, yes, it's motocross, and it's very challenging for me to keep up with the other racers, as you can easily see. Yeah, I suck. But yes, it's a really good-looking game, and the physics engine is pretty good as well. But considering how terrible I am about the actual racing portion of the game, I think that I should come clean about why I actually enjoy playing this game. The freestyle exploration mode, where you can do anything you want, and racing itself goes right out the damned window. So basically, not too dissimilar from the Grand Theft Auto games. I just toss away the main reason for playing the game and I just go crazy and do stupid stuff because it's a fun way to unwind. I bet old George E. Motocross here doesn't feel that way though. Plus, the schadenfreude in me loves crashing this dude into everything I can. And I giggle like a little girl. Plus, my level of malevolence is actually quite disturbing, really. So if you want to do some really cool stunts like jumping over houses, or if you just want to attempt to brutally hurt this dude by throwing him under a moving semi, well, your Series X will help you get your schadenfreude on. And for those of you who don't know what schadenfreude means, here it is on screen so you can look it up. You too will see how twisted you are because you'll point and laugh at this poor bastard too. So let's all give George E. Motocross a round of applause for being our little bitch here on the motocross track. Thank him so much, and we're about to send him right back to the hospital.
Isn't anybody gonna help that poor man?
While I'm not a turn-based RPG guy whatsoever, I do like an action RPG as long as it's not too bogged down with tedious and tiresome story. RPG elements have to be very well organized and light, and there's plenty of action. BioWare's Jade Empire succeeds in filling my checklist quite well, and I do find it lighthearted and good fun, as well as being visually pleasing for a 2005 original Xbox game. The gameplay experience is actually quite unique as it blends RPG elements with action quite well by allowing the player to select from 6 preset characters where you can choose their gender and character type, then later allow them to upgrade with experience points and currency by completing quests. There are short tutorial training elements as the game continues to help you learn to fight and defend yourself better and upgrade your strength, dexterity, focus, used for slow motion control, and chi, which is used for special attacks. Like most action RPGs, there is loot and equipment to be found that will upgrade your appearance and fighting style as well, and that will allow you to do better against enemies, especially if you decide to engage in side quests that further allow you to upgrade if you do well. Or maybe the table is flipped on you and the baddies take you out. I feel the Jade Empire was a wonderful addition to the Series X's backwards compatible library, and if you haven't checked it out, you can find it for a whole $9 complete.
This is but a taste of the dark side.
Calling all Star Wars fans and RPG enthusiasts.
We've been ambushed by a Sith battle fleet.
That sucks.
Buckle up for a journey to a galaxy far, far away, thousands of years before the Skywalker saga. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is a legendary RPG that lets you forge your own destiny as a Jedi Knight. Players will build a team of unforgettable companions, making impactful choices that shape the story and master the power of the Force in lightsaber duels. Knights of the Old Republic remains a beloved classic for RPG fans, and that's exactly why I included it, even though I am not an RPG fan whatsoever. I totally respect this game's fans and what it meant to them back in 2003, and what it means to them from a nostalgia standpoint. Even though turn-based RPGs are not my thing at all, it's important to recognize that there are games that are important out there that other people do like, even though I may not want to have any part of it. The RPG elements that tie into the Star Wars franchise make this a more compelling game for those who may not be into Japanese RPGs at all, and the story does paint an interesting picture of events that happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, albeit 1,000 years before the lives of our heroes Luke, Leia, Chewie, Han, C-3PO, and R2-D2. What a great group of friends, huh? Hey, wait a minute. Coming soon to a Central Perk near you. Could Han be any more frozen? While at the time the Star Wars prequel movies weren't what we hoped for, in time they ended up being far better than the Disney-fied Kathleen Kennedy nightmares we got in the sequel trilogy. Thank you, Muttley. Let's move on. Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith is an action-adventure game chock full of lightsaber-wielding action.
That's what I'm talking about.
And it follows the motion picture fairly closely. You will experience key moments in the film through combat, exploration, and a little bit of light puzzle solving. Players will primarily play as Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi using their Force powers like Force Push and Force Jump, but mostly they will be using the lightsabers to cut bad guys in half. However, there will be no burning them with monsters like there is in Golden Axe Beast Rider. Mark Bussler would definitely get that joke. While the game received mixed reviews upon release, it still holds a nostalgic place in the hearts of some Star Wars fans. And, quite frankly, I really enjoyed this game because the controls are very intuitive, it follows the storyline of the movie closely enough that I got a sense of nostalgia playing the game. Now, unlike the very popular Star Wars Battlefront games, which I do like a lot, Episode 3 gives you specific characters from the film and puts you into the heart of the action in the actual events. Unlike Battlefront, which gives you generic characters and tosses you into actual battlefields from the films. But it's essentially just a war reenactment versus being in the midst of the real war. Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith will cost you around $7, and for that kind of money, you will definitely get more than your money's worth playing this game on your Series X.
I hope you don't mind if I leave my socks on. Hey, Maria?
All right, buckle up, pilots, because we're taking to the skies with Crimson Skies High Road to Revenge. This action-packed Xbox classic throws you into a diesel-punk 1930s world where you become a daring air pilot named Nathan Zachary. No, that's Nathan Drake. No, that's Nathan Fillion. Are you f***ing kidding me? That's Nathan's Hot Dogs, and it's not even a person! Finally, that's Nathan Zachary. Jeez. Remind me to fire Muttley later. Fight enemy planes, airships, and ground forces with a variety of weapons and customize your own aircraft. Crimson Skies is a cult classic known for its exciting dogfights and unique world filled with giant airships, flying cowboys, and a healthy dose of pulp action vibes. As Nathan Zachary, you become the renegade pilot who seems more like an air pirate who captains his own plane, the Pandora. With a captivating story that occurs in the skies of a fractured North America, Nathan battles rival factions as he upgrades his plane and weapons to ultimately swat foes out of the sky and win the day. This cult classic was critically acclaimed and holds up 21 years later. Its charm and blend of action with strategy and an alternative history will make you swoop back in for more and more time and time again, and the best part is, you can navigate these unfriendly skies right on your Xbox Series X for less than $5.
$5.
That's what I said, Harley Fractic. $5. If you have the original Xbox version of Battlefield 2 Modern Combat and you put your disc inside the Series X, you'll be given the Xbox 360 version via download to play instead of the OG Xbox version. Pretty darn cool, eh? I would imagine that Xbox was just being lazy and frugal at the same time. This way they only had to license one version for backward compatibility, but that's a win-win for us, isn't it? Battlefield 2 Modern Combat is the console take on the large-scale warfare on the PC classic. This game offers intense 24-player battles, class-based action, and vehicle warfare. Plus, there's a single-player campaign to experience the conflict from both sides. While it may not have the full depth of the PC game, Battlefield 2 Modern Combat might scratch that console Battlefield itch for some players. Since this is actually the Xbox 360 version that was downloaded to the Series X, there are enhancements that the OG Xbox version didn't get, like hot swapping, a unique feature that allows you to switch control between different squad members on the fly, giving you a broader tactical view of the battlefield. At the press of a button, you can swap into another soldier on the battlefield. It's like being on that old show Quantum Leap. You just leap into another body and start shooting. Listen, the OG Xbox version is around $5, the 360 version's around $7. Either way, you get the 360 version downloaded from the Xbox servers to your Series X, and you win. Hey, when you put GunValkyrie into your Series X, the first thing you're going to notice is Sega's fingerprints all over this game. It's graphically stunning, and it has that Sega arcade-like look to it. Listen, I can sit here and blow smoke up your ass all day about how pretty the game is and that the critics thought the same thing in 2002, but another thing they mentioned was that the controls were awkward. Yes, they are. Is it unplayable? No, but had they adopted a dual stick scheme like most modern games, they would have had a home run. So what we are left with is a good game with fairly decent level designs, but complex controls with a steep learning curve. Mastering aerial movements, unleashing powerful weapons, and racking up combos with a fast-paced combat system is the real allure of the game in this alternate history where, in 1906, Halley's Comet left deposits of energy that accelerated humanity's technological advancements. The British Empire dominates the Earth and various colonies on other planets. You play as Aelin or Cebu, and you're members of a special Valkyrie squadron tasked with exterminating giant alien insects that threaten colonies. GunValkyrie is a very unique shooter, and it's the most expensive of all the games showcased in this video at about $31 CIB. It's a good game if you are patient with the learning curve on the controls, but since the term FOMO has been popping up lately, and I did mention it earlier, there is no FOMO on this game. Hey, if you can get it for $20, give it a try, but don't pay another $1 for it just to curb your curiosity or agitate your frustration gland. Did you see anything nostalgic that you have tucked away in the back of your game closet and you'll be playing it later on your Series X? Or did you see a cheap game that you've never played and now it's on your must-find list? Let me know down in the comments. Hey, part 3 of this series is on its way, so keep your eyes on the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like Game Closet's videos, hit that like button real quick. Please consider subscribing and sticking around for more videos. There's a ton of fun and funny stuff here for you, so click one of the boxes on screen and I'd be happy to show you more in Dr. Scott's Game Closet.